Welcome, my dear, dear friends. We are Semaine. We send you the light of the pole star, that star holding aspects of ascension and interdimensional communication for your planet, your solar system, and your species. May you fill up with this light so that you can radiate it outward unto all who may receive it. Good. Now, my friends, we hope that this recording finds you well and that you are able to work with the energies that are present, transmuting them, stepping them down, and transmitting them to make them available for others. Yes, as light workers, that is one of your main duties, as it were. We call it light play. And yes, things have been a bit chaotic recently, and that has played out, as we have said, across the board in terms of environmental, weather, social and political patterns, what we often call mass events, events that affect large amounts of people, if not the entire planet. And so, my friends, we understand that, again, these are challenging times, but you have many tools to assist you in dealing with these patterns. And of course, we here on the inner planes are here to support you as well. One of the things that we have touched on, but would like to discuss a bit more, is the shift in the veils between dimensions. Now, when we speak of dimensions, we're speaking of levels of experience which occur on different vibrational levels. And so you have heard us talk about third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and even seventh dimensions. These are dimensions that interpenetrate each other and indeed inhabit the same space. But because of the vibratory levels, one dimension may not be visible or accessible easily to other dimensional levels. What is interesting, however, is that as spirits who are incarnate in bodies, your energy field, that field of energy that surrounds you, which has been referred to as the aura, also exists on these different dimensions. And for those who are clairvoyant, they are able to see or sense those different levels. So you exist on all these levels in a way through your aura. Well, what we are finding is that there has been a shift in the veil, which is an energetic signature that keeps the different levels separate. And by separate, what we mean is that they do not interpenetrate each other easily at all because of these veils. Well, the veil between the third dimension, which is the dimension you inhabit, and the fourth dimension, which is sometimes referred to as the astral plane, those veils are thinning. They are not as strong as they were. And there's a reason for this. your consciousness, meaning the consciousness of mankind, is beginning to shift into the fourth dimension. And because of this, you are, in a small way, existing consciously on both levels. We say in a small way because many people are not aware of this. It is usually the psychics and the clairvoyants who are more aware of this dual existence. And as time moves on, you will physically and emotionally inhabit the fourth dimension. And it will seem as if it is the third dimension, but it will be different because of the light. The light that surrounds everything will be visible to you. Because of this thinning of the veils, it has created an interplay that is not usual between these two dimensions. And so on the third dimensional level, since it's of a lower vibration, that vibration is now starting to raise a bit more toward the fourth dimensional vibration, which is more of an emotional type of level, but a higher emotional. Now, the two dimensions have always affected each other because there has always been, of course, a back and forth of spirits leaving the earth plane and moving into the fourth and then fifth dimensions for some, and spirits coming down through the dimensions, through the fourth dimension into the third dimension to incarnate. So there is an interplay and there are openings, and they do affect each other. Now, what has been referred to by some as the lower astral is a portion of the fourth dimension that is closer to the third dimensional level. And it tends to resonate a bit more toward that. Much of the lower emotional vibrations that have collected on the earth also seem to have resided in that lower astral. And of course, this is the realm where many what you call disincarnate spirits or lost ones reside. As a matter of fact, many of the afterlife scenarios, including hells, that have been written about in your literature and in your religions, are actually lower astral types of existences. We would call them kingdoms, except they really have no organization in that term. It is more than we wish to address at this time, although we may talk about in a future talk some of the areas where like-minded souls or souls of similar vibration have collected on the lower astral. But these are the areas where those souls congregate who may not be ready to go to the higher levels or the areas that you have known as heavens reside. So there is an interplay between the lower astral and the physical. And because these veils are starting to weaken, as it were, thin, there is a bit more interplay between some of the strong energies and entities that exist on the lower astral. Now, around the time of December 2012, in the time leading up to it and the time after, because of the shift in vibration of the planet, there was an automatic, what you might call, clearing out of some of these lower astral communities. And that was facilitated not only by the energies, but by the ability of those on the spiritual side who spend their time working to free, as it were, some of these disincarnates who reside on the lower astral. It allowed them to be able to access them a bit more easily than they had heretofore. However, some of those communities still reside there and have been, up to this point, impervious to the shifts in energies, or at least resistant. But now they are starting to sense more and more these changes. And although many of them still do resist, many are still holding on to things as the way they are because that is familiar and it is what they know. So much of what is occurring because of this is that they are reaching a bit more into the physical arena and having some effect on others, particularly those individuals who already have what we would call a weak ego structure and who are susceptible to these lower vibrational astral energies. And so you may see individuals committing acts who are being influenced by some of these disincarnate spirits. This, of course, is adding to what is already somewhat chaotic energy and events occurring on the earth plane. We are asking you as light workers to hold a special space for these individuals. You need not do anything invasive, but just shine your light with the expectation that they will be freed from these lower astral entanglements. There are those of you who are experienced in working on the astral level with what you might know of as soul retrievals or spirit releasement. If you do have those skills, we encourage you to work with your guides to assist those who are able to move on to higher vibrational levels. Of course, there are those who are going to be severely resistant, and those should be left alone, at least for now. But generally, as light workers, if you could hold a space for these spirits who are stuck, but who may be ready to take that leap of faith to move into a higher vibration, please do so, because your light is needed on those levels. Now, what we see projecting through the timeline is that slowly over the decades of your time, there's going to be a greater and greater shift. There will be some areas that may continue to be resistant, but it may be difficult for them to maintain those energy structures on that level. Because again, even the astral plane is being affected by these energies, and so its vibration is raising, as are all of the other dimensional planes above it. So there is a synergy involved, and the planet as a whole, interdimensionally, is ascending to a higher level. It is just a fact of that process. Now, you may become aware, if you have not already, of some individuals who you may believe to be under this influence from the lower astral. Again, if you are, do not do anything directly. Just hold energy with the mindset that things will shift for them. There are other beings who will be able to utilize that energy in a more active way. But if you do not have that experience, then it is best to utilize that type of energy form as opposed to being more active. Actively sending them energy can backfire, as it may push them even further into those lower energy structures. For those who do have those abilities, of course, we always encourage you to work with your guides to assist you. And of course, you will be assisting them as well, because it will be a team effort. And so, my friend, we thought we would discuss this, as it is more and more becoming an issue right now. But holding that space for those individuals who are both incarnate and being affected by disincarnates, or disincarnates who are just at the cusp of being able to move on, will be of great, great benefit. And so we leave you with these words in our love and light, and that strong energy of ascension from the pole star. May you fill up with this light so that you can radiate it outward unto all who may receive it. Good day for now, my loving friends.